Hi, well, here we go. This is the start of Physics 110. For me, it is March 31st right now, just a few days before the start of the quarter. As you can see, I'm working out of my house, as I will be for the whole quarter. I'm still in my soccer sweater and everything, all casual right now. I'm getting ready to launch the class, and I'm really excited to meet you in the next few days. My name is Mark Betnel, or Dr. Betnel. I use the pronouns he, him, and his. And I have been teaching physics. I've been a part-time faculty member here in the physics department at Edmonds College for the past 3 years. And I've taught physics 110 and 114 during that time, and 110 for most of the last couple of years. So I really enjoy the experience of working with Edmonds students, and I've gotten a lot out of it in the last few years. So I'm really looking forward to meeting and working with all of you. During the day, I teach at a high school in downtown Seattle. I've been there for the last 7 years. I teach physics, math, and computer science there. In addition to my work, I'm married. I have 2 kids. Here's a picture of all of them a couple of years ago. I also volunteer as a youth soccer coach for them in the fall. Obviously, my family is how I spend most of my time, especially in the past year as we've all been working from home. Physics is my first academic love, and I've actually been studying it since I was a kid. Here is a picture of my dad working on a giant magnet. The magnet is here in the front, and my dad is standing behind it. The magnet was built at one of the national laboratories to study fusion. Fusion is the process that powers the sun, and the magnet was designed to contain really hot plasmas similar to the temperature of the sun in an effort to create fusion that could be studied and possibly harnessed. So that is a process that could be a potential source of power in the future. It's also the process that powers hydrogen bombs. It's also a topic of this course later in the quarter. So my dad started out as a mechanic working on trucks and then ended up working in the scientific, in science, essentially as an engineer. And he was on this project for a really long time. The picture was taken when I was about 4 years old. I got my own education in physics. I got my PhD in physics from Boston University. I used computers to simulate the physics of proteins that cause diseases like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. This picture is a picture of a protein. Proteins, when they're formed, they fold up into really complex shapes. Those shapes determine what function they're able to serve in the body. And sometimes those shapes can turn out wrong in ways that can cause problems. So I was studying the processes involved in these proteins that are believed to cause Alzheimer's and Parkinson's, and this particular protein shape is possibly related to the onset of Parkinson's disease. So that was my research and my introduction to physics, but I've actually really been more focused on the teaching of physics and other subjects for most of my career. I'm always trying to figure out how to make it more interesting and relatable and understandable, and that's really my passion. That part of me, I think, really comes more from my mom. This is my mom, a much more recent picture of her with my kids. She's a retired kindergarten teacher, and she's always really been heavily involved in how I've thought about education. So I've lived in several places in the US. I grew up in California. I've lived in Rhode Island, in Massachusetts for almost 10 years. I've lived here in Washington for the last 7 years. I've lived in a lot of different places. And really in the coming weeks, I'm hoping to get to know you and where all of you are coming from, both literally and figuratively. Why you're interested in the class, what you're hoping for in the future. And I really look forward to speaking with you and working with you. So it's my goal to make the class as simple and enjoyable as I can, and I'd love to talk to you about the work or anything you need. So don't hesitate to reach out to me at any time. Thank you, and I'm really looking forward to a great quarter.